Building consents remained very weak throughout February, falling almost 10% on the previous month's level. Building consents are now at the lowest level since January 2009. Contributing to the weakness over February was a sharp 20% decline in Christchurch consents from the previous month on a seasonally adjusted basis. The sharpness of this decline does suggest that the earthquake in February disrupted the ability to process consents in Christchurch over the month. Prior to February, we hadn't seen much evidence of a pickup in consent issuance following the September quake and the needed reconstruction efforts. As a result of February's quake, we now have pushed back the timing of the reconstruction, and we do not expect to see a pickup in building consents until much later this year. We expect building consents to be much more closely watched over the next few months, particularly as the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is not likely to lift the official cash rate until they are very convinced that the reconstruction activity has picked up and gained momentum. The New Zealand dollar lifted strongly against the US dollar again overnight, breaking through the 76-cent level and sitting at 76.2 cents against the US dollar this morning. The New Zealand dollar has moved substantially against the US dollar, lifting in almost a 4-cent range over 2 weeks. The New Zealand dollar has lifted from 72 cents around the post-Japan earthquake uncertainty lows and to 76 cents currently. There are a number of factors contributing to the strong lift in the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. One of these is the marked improvement in global sentiment. Indeed, sentiment has been quite strong over the past week and has contributed to a strong rally in US equities and strong demand for the commodity currencies. Another factor contributing to strong New Zealand dollar demand has been strong reinsurance flows following the February earthquake in New Zealand. But also adding to New Zealand dollar strength has been the strong gains in commodity prices over recent weeks. New Zealand dollar commodity prices lifted 2.3% in US dollar terms over the past week. Gains have been less marked, but nonetheless, global commodity prices remain very strong. However, Fonterra has warned that dairy prices may be close to peaking on a global basis and expects some downward correction over the next few weeks. Economic data out in the US overnight points to a strong increase in employment in the US over March. The ADP employment survey showed a 200,000 increase in US jobs over March and points to a strong increase in the US non-farm payroll survey, which is out over the weekend and more closely watched by the market. We are expecting that unemployment will remain steady at 8.9% in the US over March. Over recent months, we have seen signs of the labour market improving in the US, and watching for further improvement is key to see a sustainable recovery in the US. The increase in employment overnight adds to the run of stronger data that we've seen, not just in the US, but also in the UK and EU. This has added to improved global sentiment and has helped overshadow some of the increased jitters that we've seen around Eurozone debt concerns, particularly with Ireland and Portugal.